Kind of peepsy.
Oh, thank you.
History about to be made. First episode of Let Me Tell You Something. First mother sucking episode of Let Me Tell You Something. I'm excited. Guys. Rick fucking Grimes.
I'm very excited to watch The Walking Dead again.
Shane. Can't wait. All my days.
Carl.
Everybody's favourite, Laurie and Andrea. Don't forget those. I am fucking excited. I've been looking forward to this for months. It's finally happening.
Yes.
Here we go, ladies and gents. All my days. What an opening shot. That's him right there.
That is him, look. The hat and all, look.
Like, when they go back to like Shane now, they're like sweating and that. This cunt's gone around in a jacket like.
He has his full uniform on.
Badass. I pretend I'm Rick when I'm looking for something in my bag.
Or like, how does her slipper stay on? Because like, like, I'd lose my slipper if I were walking around for long. Ooh.
It's interesting because Rick has to do that again at the barn.
Oh yeah, that's not like the first. Oh yeah. I always thought I always thought the first child the first zombie that was in it was, remember the one that was like on the bike and like her limbs were gone?
It's the first one he sees as a character.
Is this after that?
This is after, because he's dressed up.
Oh yeah.
So,
You're The Walking Dead that decays over time.
Women.
For Shane appearance.
No, serious. Never met a woman who knew how to turn off a light. Born thinking the switch only goes one way, on.
So true. So true. I want to get my hair cut like that.
She'll just figure out that the light switch, see, goes both ways. Maybe we wouldn't have so much global warming. You say that.
You know, he's talking facts, to be quite honest.
True.
He's not wrong.
It's women's fault that global warming
It is our fault,
really
100%, yeah.
You sound just like my damn father. Always yelling about the power bill, telling me to turn off the damn lights. What do you say to that? I know what I want to say. I want to say, bitch, you mean to tell me you've been hearing this your entire life?
Shane's that too.
Damn stupid to learn how to turn off a
Rick loves it though. Rick loves it.
Rick would never say that to Laurie though.
You see, he doesn't actually say it, he's just joking with the guys.
He would never actually say it. It's just to the boys, like.
When we go to McDonald's drive-thru, this is us.
Yes.
This is us
what
when
we
we're
do.
McDonald's drive-thru.
She said that in front of our kid.
Bad on Laurie right there.
So Laurie's always been a piece of work.
All is a piece of work on poor Rick, like,
Jeepers.
honestly. He was just going to work, put bread on the table. She had the cheek to say that to him.
So that's
Certainly not in front of Carl.
first car reference. It's interesting because then that means then that was the last thing she said to him before he got shot. So no wonder she was so quick to fucking move on.
To jump on Shane, yeah, because they were already struggling in the. Didn't like him anymore. I like this. Look at this.
Oh yeah.
Shane looks cooler in the police outfit.
Yeah.
Also.
Don't see him fucking going around in it all the time.
No, or he doesn't have like. He has a cool cap. Maybe Rick can't because he's like the boss, I suppose.
Oh yeah, what a shot. POV, you're on a road trip with Rick and Shane. Ah, so good. Again, like, how expensive was this shot compared to like in later seasons when he seems CGI in like
A deer. Oh my
and all
god.
this kind of shit, and it looks like crap.
And
this looks amazing.
you know the scene with Carl and the deer? That wasn't CGI.
I'm pretty sure it was.
He wasn't actually like in front of a deer.
Yeah, I think so. I think we were looking at it.
Okay, well at least the CGI of that deer looks better than whatever season.
But like early seasons, they were throwing the book at it. They were shooting in film, and they were doing practical effects like this.
Why wasn't he like behind cover and like the rest of them were, first of all?
Look at that.
Wow.
Oh!
Oh my god.
About fucking time, like.
Son of a bitch shot me. You believe that? Can't you believe this? Yeah. Shane, you do not tell Lori that happened. Ever.
See, Rick's embarrassed.
You understand?
Oh man. I thought you got shot in the stomach.
No.
Imagine getting shot twice.
No. He's hit! Leon! You get that ambulance down here, you tell him there's an officer down, you do it now! Okay.
Their POV
Oh,
here.
this is ASMR.
Hear me? Okay. I'm right here with you still.
I'm gonna look at this every night before I go to bed.
You hear me?
The typical Monday morning experience.
I don't know yet.
There he is again. He's all over it.
Look at him. POV, he visits you in hospital. There's loads of Shane ASMR in
Still
this.
here. Everybody pitched in on these. They want me to bring them down. They said
Pitches in.
Did you not a bunch of flowers?
They live in the countryside. Steal them. He's going the whole way though because he's a good guy. He's wanting an assortment of flowers.
Yeah, he's in the vase for him and everything.
Been there a while.
Those flowers
As you can see,
are
them are the flowers.
dead.
But as has been pointed out numerous times on the internet, who was taking care of him this whole time?
Yeah,
I can't believe they never touched on it, or did they? Maybe we'll find out.
maybe we will.
But I don't think we will. Surely he'd call for a nurse first or something.
Yeah, because I was thinking he doesn't know the world's over yet. So, oh my God, Rick. Oh, he has a beard.
Oh,
Confused.
yeah. First beard appearance from Rick.
Yeah.
This would be so cool.
No, but, like if you woke up like this in real life, like this happened to you, or as in film, like
Wait, so didn't Shane put the bed in front of the door like so?
he did. Yeah.
So who put it back?
What do you mean?
Who put the bed back there?
Shane put it there before he left.
Yeah, but who's been looking after Rick then for the last
Oh yeah.
month?
Oh yeah, because why would they keep putting it back in front of the door? Because there's no one shooting up space anymore. Who's that? Oh.
What the fuck is he doing? Like, there's a light behind them.
Yeah, but the electricity's gone on him.
Is it? There was a light behind them in the ceiling, and this, and it's a hospital. There'll be backup generator.
Yeah, but who's there to turn on the backup generator? Or is it automatic?
Should be automatic, if I'm not mistaken.
Like if this was you, would the first thing you think, oh, zombie apocalypse, or would you be like, Jesus, that was a bad accident type thing?
With the body like that, I'd probably be like, oh yeah, something's gone wrong here.
Yeah, because there wouldn't be a body on the floor. It was an accident.
If it was just dead body, I'd be like, shit, they've shut up the place.
You always see pictures of this.
Imagine you woke up tomorrow morning and this was just like, you're like, Jesus.
Oh my God. But I think it'd be like if I just woke up in the house, I'd be like, oh, because everyone would be here. Hopefully.
But I think we'd see the escalation more like, you know, COVID. We've kind of had a taste of what the world would be like in a crisis, and rest assured we'd be fine. But I'm dead serious when I say the general public would be fucked.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I'm not listening.
Yeah.
Oh no, you'd have all these right wing fannies kind of going around like saying that it's a conspiracy from the government and all this, and then they go out and get killed and
They get eaten.
yeah.
And we're just there like,
All these arseholes like marching up Grafton Street with Ireland flags and all, like, you know.
I'm convinced we would be absolutely fine.
Yeah.
during the zombie apocalypse.
Because like COVID was harder to catch because like, COVID was easier to catch.
Okay.
Because yeah.
I was gonna say you got twice.
I'm not getting bit by some thing.
No, I ain't doing that.
And the dead thing isn't going to be as fast as me. I'm faster than the average human anyway. I'm built different.
But like they say, if you woke up and you heard like the clickers and all outside, like from The Last of Us, I wouldn't be doing that because I don't want like you have to figure out each zombie. I don't like that.
Yeah, but then that would suggest that like someone with zombie powers, a zombie gives you like special abilities, powers, makes you fast. I just don't see that as a realistic thing.
No, neither do I. If there were zombies, they'd be like Walking
They'd be
Dead.
like this, yeah.
They'd be like
This
that.
is the best depiction of it, I would say. It's the most devastating thing this man has ever seen.
Yeah.
We're laughing at. This show is like starting like it's really slow. That looks amazing.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Like, see the way this building's blew up.
Yeah.
Did they just find like an older building, or did they CGI that type of thing?
Some of the bodies do look a little bit CGI'd, but primarily this is practical effects for sure.
Like even when I look at stuff like this, how they make all the streets look abandoned and dirty and
Yeah.
stuff. I always think it's very cool.
This
Yeah.
just looks amazing. Like They set like it's a really slow start. They had the scene with Shane. This is a really slow start. Like it took Rick like 4 minutes there to get out of the hospital or something with the matches, and they're going out and he's relighting them, blah blah back and forth.
But I think it's a good setup to the.
Like they're setting it up. They're setting the tone really well.
And we're kind of just as confused as him.
The dead bodies on the floor, and then the military stuff, and it's like, what the fuck? You think like he's kind of like now it's like, oh, these are zombies, like in the movies. No, he's just being a little bitch about it. Sorry.
This is his house. It's the only time we see his house.
Amazing. This is Rick's crib.
Yeah. American flag.
Big American flag. Of course. Weird place for a bedroom.
It looks like it's in the sitting room, whatever way. Oh, it's a toothbrush.
Brother, the front door was open. I don't think they're home.
The house is like half the shit is gone. Aww.
This is real.
It's a good point. You probably will be like,
You'd be like, whoa. He probably thinks he's still in the coma, you know?
Yeah.
You know what's weird? There was loads of post in their post box. But why would they still be getting post delivered? Do you get what I mean? Unless they just don't collect their post, unless it was junk.
Maybe the American post system is the most dedicated work base in the planet.
True.
So our main hero has been knocked out by a child within the first 10 minutes.
He's been put through the mill in the first few minutes, Adam.
I'm meant to support this guy.
Yeah.
Guy fell over because of a bicycle. I bet Rick stinks right now.
But then so would Morgan. Because they all go have a shower at the police station.
Yeah.
And it's there for a shower.
Morgan's probably been like running around in the sun and stuff.
He was there to like question Rick about a fever and he was sweating more than him. So I was like...
It smells crazy in there anyway.
Yeah. You shot a gun and drew them all over here.
Yeah.
Morgan.
Sound draws them, now they're all over the street.
Yeah, actually, yeah, you're right.
Stupid. Using a gun. But it all happened so fast.
It really didn't, actually.
You shot a man. Friend, you need glasses. It was a walker.
First Walker reference.
Walker.
Here.
1 spoonful of beans?
Daddy. Zombies never said in the show, was it?
No, never. She's showing up here like she knows the place.
She's like, this is my crib.
Trying to get in the door and all. Like,
yeah.
looking in the fucking peephole, like. That's from the intro. Yeah, it's the same handle. Look, that's it.
That's literally it.
Oh,
Oh,
that's my fit.
you literally wearing that except you put your jumper on.
They did. Except for something in the brain. That's why it's gotta be the head.
Adam, you are Rick Grimes right now.
I am literally Rick Grimes.
Oh my god.
You think he's wearing Birkenstocks?
No,
too?
he looks like he's wearing like dad shoes. Like, you know, like those New Balance kind of looking shoes.
I'm literally him.
You could literally be that full outfit right there.
I wouldn't have fallen over like a little bitch
No.
like that.
Adam, he
though.
was shot though.
I've been shot 5 times.
We just stayed hunkered down.
Hunkered down.
Frozen.
Yeah, we already know all the memes, so
Yeah.
it's like nothing to it.
Hunkered down.
He's in that dickhead ass uniform already.
Leon Bassett.
I knows him. It's Leon Bassett.
Stopped watching when Leon Bassett
Yeah.
turned into his own.
Careless and dumb.
Or stay at the police station.
That's why I wouldn't.
Probably a targeted area, you know, like some like what's
Bandits
it?
show up or something.
Bandits or did I call them bandits in this?
I don't know.
Is that what you'd call them in a zombie? I'd call them bandits if I was like running around with a sword. Or like
What do they call them? Just enemies, I suppose. Like you know, say like what does Rick refer
looters.
to? Looters.
Looters.
Books a while.
I'd be raging if this happened because I wouldn't get to play the Elden Ring DLC. I would actually be so livid. Oh, I like that. He's reading his comic book or something. That looks like some guy. Did you see that? That just looked like some bloke.
Oh, look, it's kind of sad actually. I feel bad for him when he killed it. That's how I die. Maybe I would die in like a zombie apocalypse. See, now look, her head is turned. You can't see her face anymore.
Yeah.
Bam. Or why doesn't he just leave this area and go live somewhere else where she's not like walking about?
Yeah, like he doesn't have to restrict himself to this
No.
like road, of course.
Broadcasting on emergency channel. We'll be
Bro still thinks
approaching
he's,
Atlanta on
like-
Highway 85.
Where's he going?
Like,
Anybody reads?
Oh,
Atlanta.
I'm just gonna drive around
He's
America.
going to Atlanta.
Oh, is he?
Yeah.
Hello?
Imagine hearing Rick Grimes over your radio. I'd be on that. Like, oh, I'm here. It's Dale. So we do see the camp in the first episode.
Yes, I can hear you. You're coming through. Over.
Broadcasting on emergency channel. We'll be approaching Atlanta on Highway 85. If anybody reads, please respond.
Oh, that's a cool shot too.
Just outside the city.
These random people we don't know.
Hello? Hello? He couldn't hear me. I couldn't warn him.
Try to raise him again. Come on, son. You know best how to work this thing.
It's Lori.
Hello, is the person who called still in the air? This is Officer Shane Walsh broadcasting to person unknown. Please respond.
I'll go. Give me a vehicle.
Nobody goes anywhere.
She learned last time we gave her a vehicle.
Yeah, we all know how to give Laurie a vehicle.
Tell you what, girl, you feel that need, you go right ahead.
Tell
I'm
you
right
what.
here.
Tell you what. Smirking.
There's supposed to be a secret here. Look at like how see-through their tent is.
That's how I'd be walking down Main Street.
You know the boots he has on? They're like the same boots from
Hello?
like the last season, like with Rick.
Police officer out here.
Like in that and like Andrew Lincoln. He like taped them up all the time and stuff. Oh, so where he gets the horse.
They done fucked up and gave me a horse.
Yeah, he gets a horse.
He really thinks he's Aaron Morgan.
Hello?
He does.
See, again, I feel like whoever like made these first seasons, especially this episode, is into their horror, like real horror movies, like that. Even that looks like it's from the 70s or something.
It does. It's terrifying, actually.
Texas Chainsaw Massacre is what that kind of looks a bit like. That whole scene there, the window and all. Oh, it's gonna smell crazy in here.
Do you know a fun fact right here? His hat falls off, and then the CGI had to stay on his head, so then he didn't lose the hat in the show. But when they filmed it, his hat fell off.
Oh, I was
Yeah.
gonna say, like, why the fuck didn't they just leave it?
So they CGI'd it back on.
Pulling up in the Sandinay for the first time.
Yeah.
That's like the shot, isn't it?
But it's done very well. It doesn't look shit. Like,
But you can tell, like, look at that. Like, look at that Volkswagen right there. But still, it's a TV show. It's not like meant to be. Everything's not meant
It's not
to
meant
be.
to,
It's
like,
fine when things don't
yeah.
look good. But when they look comically bad, when they're have $1 million budget in it, like a Marvel movie, it just sucks.
yeah. Look. Oh, I hate it. If he actually came after me, I'd just give up. I hate him.
He looks like a guy that you see in like an indie music kind of pub, dressed like him too. Such a good shot.
Yeah,
right
the
there.
reflection. I know he's like
He's here, is he not?
he's like
somewhere?
way back here somewhere. Yeah, he's
Oh, there,
where?
there. Look on the mouse.
No, because it's like a normal. He's
yeah,
not-
look.
That's not him.
Oh no, that wasn't him. That was just someone's head.
Yeah.
I swear they must have edited him out on this, but they don't edit out what's in the next episode.
What?
Moral.
Yeah.
I swear he's here. No.
No,
Maybe
I
that's
swear.
why I've never seen him.
Play it a little bit more and pause it again
Here?
immediately. Is it? I've only ever been able to see him when someone circled him.
Yeah, but like I always felt like it was like here, but I'm looking over here now.
That guy right there looks like a normal man.
Doesn't it? I was thinking that.
Big horse right there.
I think we've been fooled. Oh, there it is, there it is, there it is. Oh, I thought it was that scene. I've been wrong for all these years. Watch.
Oh my
There
god!
he is. Look, there he is.
He's like right in the middle too. That's crazy.
Like one, just they bite his leg. Just bite Rick's leg. Personally,
Coral, I'm sorry.
Oh! What the? What were you gonna say personally?
I was
What?
like, personally, I wouldn't have been in a situation like that. I wouldn't have got fucked up like that. That's what happens when you're too drunk and you have a shot.
Yeah.
That's what happens.
Or it's worse, you know those lights that make everything look like
Yeah.
it's moving staggered?
Trying to find the bathroom, I don't know, yeah.
Hey, you. Dumbass. Yeah, you in the tank.
Dumbass.
You cozy in there?
Helicopter, the other guy
The
calls
other
him.
Morales or whatever the hell his name is. And that's a song they play in the episode where Rick is taken off a helicopter.
Okay, here we go. Back from Din Din. We just had some Din Din.
Some din din, yes.
Had a Pepsi again. Now I'm on the water. Look at the state of this. What is this? This people are going to think I'm drinking sparkling water like some sort of fucking loser. There's dirt on the inside of this glass.
Look at that. Look how beautiful that is. I'm talking about Dale.
Yeah. Give me that hat. A fine ass. Oh no, I can't say because that's on his. I was talking about Dale's ass.
Don't wander too far. Stay within shouting
Look, we're on the second episode and Laurie's already getting someone else to look after Carl.
Yep.
This
Yes, mom. All right, go and fucking die then. They haven't showered in days. I'm just thinking of the Dale edit.
This is a zombie show. There's no need for all of this. Because you see, that's the only thing that's really linked. That we don't see anything else. Oh, what house we do, I suppose.
Dale's
And
caravan.
the bears, the little girls.
Atlanta.
Pigs.
That is the police station where Rick always. This is all references.
Oh, and that squirrel was getting eaten before he got shot. Well,
Forgot this dirty. Jesus.
I got a Beretta with one clip, 15 rounds.
Okay, I'm gonna
What's
kill
your
that.
name?
What a fucking dickhead. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11.
he's 4 shots.
12, 13, 14.
He has 1 shot left, no? Also, he wasted like a lot of those.
Somebody might do the same for me. Guess I'm an even bigger dumbass than you.
Didn't like that. He did not like that. Why did he run in between them when they were
Oh
swinging?
my god.
Fucking guy, like. Real dumbass.
Alright, Andrea. Fucking hell. Here she is already, like.
He's up. You're kidding me, right? We're dead because of this stupid asshole.
Andrea, I said back the hell off.
She doesn't even know how to shoot.
We're dead. All of us.
This is the start of this fucking. What the? That never happened in anything else either with The Rock.
He is.
Michael Rooker of Call of Duty Black Ops Zombies fame.
That'll be the day. That'll be the day. You got something you want to tell me?
Hey, T-Dog, man, just leave it.
No.
All right, it ain't worth it. Now, Merle, just relax, okay? We got enough trouble.
You want another day? Yeah. I'll tell you the day, Mr. Yo. It's the day I take orders from.
Hey, come on, Merle, that's enough.
I thought we would edit it out realistically at this stage, no?
In the Disney Plus version,
Yeah.
we watched Dodgeball a few weeks ago on this, and they edited out cock.
Yeah, they changed it to like something else.
They changed it to poopy. Do you
Yeah,
remember that?
poopy.
They changed
Poopy.
cock to poopy, but they left that in this. Mr. Yo is crazy, by the way.
Yes, it
That's
is.
crazy. Oh, he's just going all officer bullshit.
Officer friendly.
Officer friendly.
Who the hell are you, man?
Officer friendly. Look here, Merle. Things are different now. There are no No.
Not
dumb
on,
shit.
like,
White trash
it's
fools.
crazy.
Only dark meat and white meat. There's us and the dead. We survive this by pulling together.
Like,
not
he
apart.
didn't need to say it.
This guy's meant to be the hero.
Screw you twice.
The guy we root for. The main guy in this show. And he's meant to be the good guy. This is episode 2, and they've had our guy say the fucking N-word.
Yeah.
He's a man looking for his wife and son.
And he tried to do it in a way where it was like, oh, but it was kind of like, bro, you still
It's
said
like where
it.
you said it, you just
T-Dog
said
is
it.
right there, like, that's crazy.
That is crazy.
And the fact that it's still in it twice as well.
Twice. They haven't edited it out. Especially with how big this show is. The fact that this is Disney Plus.
Welcome to the
That looks like shit. Mr. Yo and Officer Friendly. Rick thinks he's Blue Tie from TikTok with his party coming in and being the leader.
You won't. Get it for me. Make it worth your while.
Is that edited
What do you
in?
say, man? Come on.
They couldn't get a tool bag?
Why not take it?
There's a cop staring at me.
He probably would
He
write
would.
her up for that. Like, oh, we just robbed the till too.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
What'd you find out there?
We need to find a way.
What was his head assery? Coming up to the camera. Hope that didn't put us out of focus.
That construction
The Andrew Trossard for
They always keep keys on hand.
What is this shop? They're selling jewellery.
Okay. Take some time to think this
Nice clothes. They've got packets of marigolds.
That glass won't hold forever.
I went
shelf?
there married.
They're blue gloves, like the fisherman's gloves.
Yeah. Nah, come on.
Don't be a little bitch about it, Rick. Jesus. Oh, he's feeling it up. Jesus Christ. Pass it around,
What the
everyone.
fuck?
He had $28 in his pocket when he died.
Who gives a fuck?
That's irrelevant, Rick.
Worrying about bills or the rent or the Super Bowl. If I ever find my family, I'm gonna tell them about Wayne.
Oh, are you really Rick Grimes?
He never.
I'm the whole watch along of this. The whole time we watch this, I'm waiting for it.
He's not gonna say it.
When he was doing that whole speech, just look at everybody's faces.
No one.
Ain't nobody give a shit about
Everyone's
what
just
he
like-
was saying there.
Especially when he's like, there was $28 in his pocket. What? Who cares?
Don't get any on your skin or in your eyes.
Okay, we'll just put it on a mask by our faces. She just got some on her hand.
It's Andrea though. I don't.
Ready.
Jesus.
Merle Dixon.
He has some on his hand.
Tiny ass key as well. That ain't ending well.
They should get a big key so it doesn't fall down like I don't know, like a sink.
Yeah.
Maybe drop it in the toilet. Or... This is what it's like walking down the street where we live when you're wearing like
A nice outfit.
an out there outfit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And an outdoor outfit here is like a hat.
Yeah.
Try that TV. Hey, come on, talk to me.
That's a cool shot.
Very scared.
What is he fixing? They haven't gone anywhere.
Here to go. To help the rest of us.
So it's on her then.
She knew the risks, right?
Yeah.
See, she's trapped. She's gone.
Yeah.
So we just have to deal with that. There's nothing we can do.
She's my sister, you son of a bitch.
Okay, you go get her then. You go to the department store that they're stuck at and try and get through a horde of zombies.
Yeah.
What's your solution to get through a city?
Also, Laurie's okay with them all going to rescue him in the city, but wasn't okay with Rick going back later on. In the
Yeah,
show.
she's getting all pissy about it now. Of course she is.
Yeah.
They really did like
Ugh.
take the horror out of it later on,
did.
didn't they? This is like a horror movie. This is great.
I don't think I've ever, after the first, I don't even think in the second season maybe, I don't think I've ever felt scared. Actually, I do feel scared during the highway scene where they're under the cars. That used to freak me out.
I also like how they're shooting it kind of like a film. That's supposed to be funny. Very serious.
You don't see Rick doing it, like he was like.
Yeah, Glenn was there, like, and he was all like,
Whoa.
Oh man.
this is so well written. That's such a good idea. Not sure it would wash that off.
It would wash off a lot of it. Like look at Glenn's jacket, it's all like losing the blood. But then it's still not. It still smells.
It's just a cloudburst. We get them all the time. It'll pass real quick.
Yeah.
Like Rick is still pretty. They're running. Look. They never run.
Yeah, but what are these, runners? Not walkers.
Well, that shot again, like in the first one.
They don't do any of this shit anymore. I feel like they started making this show. It's funny, like, yeah, they probably started paying the actors more. We'll probably stop spending as much on the show because this was shot in film. Some of these shots are like really expensive.
Yeah.
Now it's like, no, we'll just pay the actors more instead.
Would you leave, Merle? What would you do?
You can't leave me, man. You can't leave me here. Not like this. You can't, man. It's not human.
Is that human? That's so unfortunate too, bruh. I think they had to edit the key. Obviously, they had to edit the key.
Can you imagine that? Like, I would have at least shouted to him, like, mate, I'm gonna chain the door so you know if you get back, like, you'll know that I did something nice for you. Like, why did he cut off his arm with the saw? Why didn't he just cut through the?
Because Dare said it was too blunt for the. I don't believe that, but.
Okay, so I'll just chop my arm off instead with it. I think he'd get through a bit of metal easier. Handbrake turning the truck again.
Put Grimes in it.
If that was Laurie, she would have probably flipped it over.
Like right there on the straight,
Yeah.
not in front of her.
Not in front of her, up on the ditch. Boy. Because he's pretend bread boy.
Little cookie man never waved to me. So we
Got knocked out.
Because I
flow.
The jiggy jar jar do.
And that is going to be the first thing that's ever on our channel.
Car Papa.
Car Papa. Us singing that. People, welcome. I'm looking at myself too much. Welcome to Let Me Tell You Something, episode 1. I am Adam.
I'm Claire.
And this is episode. I'm all over the place here. I have no script.
I hate stuff like this.
But this is the show and the channel where we watch episodes. We watch TV, films, media from our childhood and sometimes yours.
And maybe sometimes things we don't have never seen before.
Exactly. We just want to fuck around. This is the channel, and it's not just going to be all watching stuff. We're going to be playing games. We're going to be doing everything. We're just making stuff. But this is the Let Me Tell You channel. This is the Let Me Tell You series. That's where we're doing our watch along stuff. So you've probably seen us doing a watch of the first 2 episodes of The Walking Dead. This is now going to be us just having a chat about it, what we spoke about. Claire, please tell me and the audience about your background watching The Walking Dead.
Well, I got into The Walking Dead because you were watching The Walking Dead and he told me about it and I wanted to watch it with him. And then we kind of watched it together until you stopped watching it, season 5?
Yeah, some shit like that.
And then I watched it till like season 8, 9. I kind of always followed it, but I stopped watching it because I just didn't really like it much anymore. But
yeah. Like, we kind of know what goes on in the other seasons. Like, the reason we kind of start watching this shit again was because this shit is all over TikTok.
Yeah. And
all this kind of stuff. And we see all the memes and the jokes. And we're like, look at the name of this channel, of this show. Let me tell you something. It's a thing of the meme of Shane always saying shit like that. You know, that's where that come from.
I think it was Shane. We saw clips of Shane that made us realize how good the start of the show was, because we started watching him a lot, and then we realized how good The Walking Dead was at the start.
Because I remember I started The Walking Dead and I was like, this is fucking great. I told you about it.
Yeah.
I watched the whole first season like a day. Then I told you about it. Then I rewatched the first season with you in a day.
Yeah.
And then we watched it like crazy for like ages. And I remember the last episode I watched before it stopped. I don't know what the episode is called or what it was. It was in, I think you said season 5.
Yeah.
They were in Alexandria.
I could be wrong though.
Alexandria, and some sort of like truck or large vehicle crashed into like a watchtower. That is the last thing I seen.
That could be season 6-ish. I don't actually know the timeline properly.
That's for sure the last thing I seen. And I remember I was like, I was caught up with The Walking Dead at this point, and I was like, I was watching it weekly, and I was like, I can't be arsed.
Because I watched, like, I remember watching Negan, and then I stopped watching it, but I was still kind of looking at it kind of through YouTube clips. So I don't actually know my cut-off point fully, because I watched it through YouTube.
But I think it's a pretty common thing to stop watching The Walking Dead. Like, I don't know a lot of people that have continued to watch it when it was bad. Because let's be real, it got fucking bad, and I'm not having anyone tell me it didn't.
Yeah, it got very repetitive and stuff like that too.
It just got a little bit stupid. And like when I know I don't really know anything that happens in later seasons, but I'm seeing people dressed up as like Star Wars stormtroopers or some shit.
Yeah.
And I'm like, this show used to be about
Commonwealth and stuff.
What? Yeah, what is all this crap? There's a guy with a fucking like lion or some shit.
Yeah.
Like, I'm like, what the fuck is going on here? What? Like,
King Ezekiel. And he talks like olden times too, like a king, because he's the king.
Or we seen thumbnails of like something in like season 11 or 12 or some shit. And there was like this girl all dressed in purple and shit, and she looked like a video game character that was not meant to be in a cutscene.
Yeah, I believe her name is Princess or something stupid like that.
See, you know all the shit. I know nothing. So this isn't going to be a blind react channel to this until like season 6 or 7. Then we're going to be seeing things for the first time.
We know kind of a lot of like the area stuff and the memes and all that shit, but
I think it's also worth saying that like the reason this podcast, whatever you want to call it, came about was because when we watch stuff together, old films that we grew up watching, all this, we take the piss out of it. Yeah. Even though we still think they're good. Like, I think the first 2 seasons of The Walking Dead are fantastic, but I still like taking the piss out of it.
Yeah.
It's just fun. That's what led us to start this whole thing.
And we find it fun. So we were like, oh, why not? Like,
let's fucking let's capitalize on this and figure out a way to make money off this, guys. Blow this up. But yeah, the first 2 seasons are I've said it before, I think the first 2 seasons of this show are like some of the fucking best television out there.
They are amazing. They are very good.
Season 3's good-ish.
Season 3 has a great start, which we'll see.
We'll get to that. We won't discuss season 3 right now, but I'll just say right now, season 3 is very Andrea orientated, so it automatically goes down a few stars with that one.
And
I don't
Laurie,
have time for bullshit. Yeah,
both of them are kind of.
I mean, I know there's a lot of defenders for these 2 online, but if you like Laurie or Andrea, we're going to be giving out about them because we don't fucking like them. They're annoying as fuck.
And then the opposite. A lot of you don't like Shane. We love Shane.
This is a Shane fan club.
We are a Shane fan club.
We are John Bernthal enthusiasts. Look at the name of this channel.
Let me tell you something.
Everything we do is inspired by John Bernthal here. He's our guy. We fuck with Rick Grimes, but we think he's an idiot for like 3 seasons. No.
Yeah, he does get cooler, but like we've seen it already. He's been bro is like a clumsy fool going around. Like, he's just not the best leader, in my opinion.
He becomes him. He becomes a badass.
He does, but
he's a cringe lord for like the first 2 seasons. He's such a loser. Like, at times, like dead ass. Like, this guy's a fucking like he's a clown. Like, Jesus Christ. But we are Shane defenders to like the day we die. Dead ass. Yeah. Like, he did one bad thing.
Something
we'll get to that.
Yes.
Yeah, in season 2, we'll get to that. Yeah. This is episode 1 and 2 of season 2, of which we watched in this episode. Season 1, yeah, 2 episodes. We're going to try and do 2 episodes in each one, but anyway. Yeah, we both watched The Walking Dead. We both gave up on it.
Yep.
I dead ass gave up on it.
I was hardcore for a long time.
You dipped your toe in every now and then.
Yeah.
It's also worth saying, right, that we said, like, it'll be a blind run show up until a certain point. We actually rewatched 2.5 seasons of this.
Yep.
Just by ourselves, like 5 or 6 months ago. It's a while ago now.
It was a while ago, yeah.
So like all the stuff we're seeing in the first few episodes, this isn't going to be completely fresh, but it's been a while and you're still remembering things. Like I think that kind of showed in the. I actually remember or forgot a lot of stuff that was going on in the first few episodes.
I think I remember more the second season than I do the first.
Because the second season's the best
The
season.
second season's
It's
the
so
best.
good. The
It's really
farm.
good.
But
Oh.
we'll get to that.
Ooh.
I can't wait to get to that shit. It's good. But this also isn't going to be like a professional analysis thing, review. You know, we're going to be taking the piss and we're going to be saying this is shit, this is good,
Yeah.
whatever.
This is a chat.
This is a laugh.
Yeah.
We're trying to have a laugh here. This is what this channel is. This first episode where we're talking here is going to be a little bit all over the place because we're just kind of laying foundations. But
Yeah.
I kind of I've come out in like the watch along there of like with stuff, kind of analysis maybe of like how it was made or script writing things. I personally, I am a trained professional actor. I studied in acting school for 3 years. I've worked on multi-million-dollar movie sets and I've worked on film sets with no budget. I know kind of a bit of everything in between. And I kind of have an understanding of what shit goes on and how things work and why certain things happen. And I've studied how to analyze scripts for 3 fucking years. So I kind of know like,
Yeah.
so I kind of have like, I kind of raise questions like, why do they do that? That doesn't make sense, you know.
Yeah.
As someone who wants to make films too and that kind of thing. So
Yeah.
that kind of gets brought up. But anyway, Claire, take us away with the intro. First impressions of the first episode.
The intro, I think the whole show as a whole looks very, very good. How it's like filmed and all that sort of stuff.
Looks fucking great, yeah.
It does, especially compared to how it turns out, which again we're not going to talk about now. But I think for like the first episode, it looks amazing.
Yeah.
And then it was kind of a slow start to the episode. Like it was kind of like, well, it took him like how long did it take him to get out of the hospital?
Yeah.
Like
he relit the match like 4 times.
yeah,
in that
it was long, but then it was good to kind of lay the foundations of the show and kind of give us an idea what it's going to be about. I was kind of like, you know, he was confused. If you're a first time watcher of the show, you may be confused. Like we knew what was happening because we've seen it before, but I thought that was kind of cool as well. Like if I had never seen it before, I'd probably be just as confused as him. Probably would have figured it out a bit quicker than him because he's a bit slow, like. But
yeah, like I feel like they do a really good job of kind of, as you said, laying the foundations, and then you're confused with Rick. You're kind of figuring out what's going on. You're following him around. We're literally Rick Grimes.
We're
literally Rick
Rick
Grimes.
Grimes.
But like, he's kind of finding his feet,
figuring out what's
figuring
happening.
out what's going on, and then you're kind of. If you were a first time watcher, as Claire said, like you would kind of, we've watched this numerous times now, but like you'd feel the confusion along with him, I think. So they kind of start that off well. As Claire, it looks fucking great. I believe this was shot on film, which for if anyone's interested in that shit, like it's an interesting choice, especially like when did this first season come out? Like 2010 or
I think it was 2010 it started coming
some
out.
shit like that. Like basically, if you don't know, film is a lot more expensive to shoot on because it's not like digital where you can delete stuff you don't want or put another memory card in. Film's film and that's it. So it's much more expensive to shoot on and stuff like that. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, they shot all the first 2 or 3 seasons of this on film.
Oh really? Even the
something
third?
like that. But even like down to like it looks great that way, but the colors are really nice.
Yeah, I mean, it looks much nicer.
Yeah, like, and I know like that there's a whole thing like as the world decays, everything gets darker and blah blah. But it just feels like a good fucking time at the start.
Even
like,
some of the shots we've seen in the first 2 episodes are very good.
It's like whoever made or directed or wrote even these first 2 episodes or first few episodes. I know they changed writers. I believe after 2 seasons there was a big fallout. That's why. We'll get to that at the time, but certain characters got written out and stuff. But I feel that when whoever did this originally directed it and stuff, they were genuine horror fans, and I think that kind of shows. There's some very, very creative shots throughout the first 2 episodes, and probably like going forward now in the next few that you just don't see in later seasons. Deadass, like I think they got a little bit lazier with stuff as it went on.
Yeah,
and also
they had their fan base; they didn't have to impress anybody anymore.
And also, like I mean, people who continue to watch it were diehard, maybe a little bit delusional, didn't want to give up on it because it was so good.
They didn't
I get
want to
that.
let go of Rick Grimes.
They didn't want to let go of Rick Grimes, badass. They didn't want to. They loved Daryl and other characters and stuff like that. And then when you invest so much time in something that actually was genuinely so good at the start, you're kind of clinging on to maybe hoping it got good again.
Yeah.
But I mean, some people say when Negan came into it.
I did enjoy Negan, but then after certain things happened with Negan, it got very flat after that, and I was like, I couldn't watch it anymore, really.
And then there's like 3 spin-offs of this shit. Like, it must be doing really well financially if they continue to make it, because otherwise they wouldn't. So, but you can definitely tell that the writers definitely changed. Like, I wonder what this show would have been like had the writers never changed.
I know. That's crazy to think about. Because
there's so much things in the first episode that we pointed out in the watch along that they don't do later. No. There's little things that the walkers do, like, for example, in the second episode when they're banging on the glass, one of them has a rock and he's trying to smash into it. Shit does not happen. One of them is climbing a ladder.
Morgan's wife is pure trying to like get in the house.
Morgan's wife.
She recognizes her house and stuff. Kind of.
She seems aware.
She looked in the keyhole. Yeah. I was like, how are you doing that?
She's twisting the knob and shit. It's like, she's always looking up at the house and shit, looking up at him.
Or it's like, there's zombies and they've literally like got down on the floor and they're like relaxing. So like, what's that about?
Do zombies get tired?
Yeah, because even remember with the zombie that Rick killed with no legs, she was tired from dragging herself.
Yeah.
So do they get tired? Do they sleep?
And when Rick left Morgan's house for the first time, there was a guy like posted up like this. Yeah. Pure like, what is this guy doing?
Or the zombie in the tank was pretty much asleep when Rick went in, like, so
it's kind of like maybe they just didn't really know what they were doing yet.
Yeah, it hadn't.
And then maybe it became kind of difficult to write around characteristics of the walkers.
Yeah.
Like if they, like for example, Morgan was saying they get rowdier at night. They become more active at night. I don't recall that later on throughout the series.
No. But I think they did more stuff at night as a group.
Yeah. Like, or like throughout the series, like hordes kind of appeared more in the daytime, no?
Yeah.
So.
Or even when they were covering themselves in the guts, and Glenn was like, "Oh, they know smell," but then
do
they sneak up on zombies later on? They don't really go back to them being able to smell.
Find out. People are probably watching this and be like, fucking episode 7, season 9.
Yeah.
They recall back to this, and it's like, yeah, we'll point it out at the time. This is episode we're just saying what we see, like catchphrase, or is that what it? Yeah. Catchphrase, old school catchphrase.
Yeah.
Some bullshit. But yeah, I feel like, you know, they kind of put stuff in, and then it was like, just be a bit easier if they didn't run the walkers.
Yeah, because they did run in one of the episodes.
They started running after Rick and Glenn.
Yeah. And like they were climbing shit and like opening. Oh.
Yeah.
Crazy.
He was able to climb the fence. One of the walkers.
Yeah.
And
if he was able to climb that fence, when they're in the prison, they'd be able to climb those fences, and they don't.
Yeah.
So that obviously isn't a thing they can do later on.
Then even when Rick went into Atlanta, there was someone just sat on the bus.
Yeah, but then even season 3, season 2, they sit in like a chair.
Like there's no way that those walkers just kind of were that way and then just suddenly
they stayed like that too. Yeah. They wouldn't do that. And then, but it could be like a thing like, are they playing into, the zombies are only early developed, so they're still a little bit smarter. So
yeah, like I wonder that because there was points in it where like some zombies looked a little bit more like human. Regular, like human.
You can see their bite, but that's it.
Yeah,
they weren't decaying.
But their skin looked good.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah.
They moisturized last night and then got bit this morning, kind of thing. Like, so that's kind of creative that they kind of hopefully they did that on purpose.
Yeah,
like that was
like later on. You never see a fresh zombie. They're all rotted.
But like, oh my god, imagine like you got to like season 11. Imagine how embarrassing it would be getting bit by then. Like, that would be such a waste of everybody's fucking time.
Oh man, that'd be awful.
Fucking hell, like. Next bullet point we have our list here.
Laurie
Grimes moves on fucking fast, huh?
She does.
Jesus.
Husband's not even cold in the ground and she's fucking after his best friend. Like, what's that about?
But that's the thing, right? We looked this up like right before we started recording this section, and we were trying to figure out how long Rick was in the coma. So how long Laurie and Shane had been off together or had been gone.
Yeah.
And apparently in the comics it's like a month.
Yeah.
It's not really specified in the show, so people are kind of speculative of it. But well, let's say it was.
I would say it was definitely a few weeks.
True, yeah, because like
he has a beard. Oh no, but he was in a coma, so he could have a beard anyway. But
flowers were faded as fuck.
Yeah.
And well, we'll get to that too. But someone had to have been looking after him realistically.
Yeah.
Like someone had to have been in the hospital changing shit. Also, sorry to waffle off topic, but Morgan said the water was out. The first thing Rick did when he got out of bed was put the tap on and get some water out of it. So was there water in the hospital, or was he just drinking some stale ass fucking water?
Stale ass drain water type thing.
Who knows?
But Laura, yeah, she moved on hella quick. But then, is it confirmed that there was not in there pre-apocalypse?
That's Shane is asking in the first scene of the show. We see Shane kind of asking about Laurie,
and you feel the,
and he's kind of a bit like,
yeah, and Rick and Laurie's relationship is struggling already pre-apocalypse. They're always fighting.
Yeah.
She says he doesn't care about them.
In front of Carl.
In front of Carl as well.
In front of Carl.
Disrespectful. And then he went out and got shot. It's like, oh man. It's crazy.
But yeah, like
I don't think maybe Shane always, as they say, carried a torch for Laurie.
I think so.
But I don't think anything ever happened until Rick was kind of completely out of the way in Laurie's eyes, and then she went for a Shane too.
But do you know what's interesting too then, right? In Shane's mind, firstly, Shane didn't really know whether he was dead or not. He just knew he was dead.
But he told Laurie he was dead.
He told Laurie he was dead. So to Shane and Laurie, they just left Rick as a walker back in the hospital.
Yeah.
They just left. You left him there? They left him there? Like...
They tell Carl his dad is dead, never coming back.
Yes, like, oh yeah, Carl, your dad's like a walker now. It's just like,
oh.
He's posted up back at the hospital, just running up that medical bill. Yeah, and
does the other camp members think know also? Like we said about that. Like Carl obviously doesn't know because
Carl doesn't know, and I think they're keeping it secret because they only talk in the tent and shit. Like they're not being intimate with each other.
No.
But now this is kind of getting ahead of ourselves. But Daryl knows because he calls her olive oil later on.
Daryl knows
we know
everything.
That from the meme.
We'll see that like later on, but he notices everything, and he says observant in that one scene with Andrea because she's stupid.
But then we'll get to that in the next episode.
Yeah.
How quick Rick knows.
When does he find out though?
Some people say he knows straight away. Some people. There's a moment I see on TikTok one time where it looks like he clocks it when they're at the farm. But we'll be pointing all this out.
Mm-hmm.
Whoever so written. Oh yeah, so the we were kind of talking about the writing and like whoever wrote was everything a horror fan. They kind of knew what they were doing. It's a shame they switched and all. But I think the long term like goals of the writing, like this is a very well written 2 episodes of television we watched. I think the first 2 seasons are well written, but there's specifically in these 2 episodes of this episode of this show, there is 2 seeds planted for future.
Yeah, they talk
long term.
like,
exactly. Morgan, who we see him now. When is the next time we see Morgan? Like
it's like they're in the prison for season 3 or 4.
That's a long term thing.
Yeah.
Like that's at least 4 years for an actor to wait around to be put back in.
Yeah.
That's a lot of fucking like long term planning and trusting that, you know, when the writers did change that they'd remember this kind of thing and not fuck it up. The second one was Merle. On the fucking roof.
Yeah.
Now has anger towards people, officer friendly. Just throwing around racial slurs between the two of them, fucking 2 peas in a pod.
Crazy.
2 peas on a pod. On a podcast. But like, you know, now Merle's planned. Merle doesn't come back into it.
Around season 3? Because say...
Yeah, it is, isn't it?
Yeah.
They go back for him, but he's gone. And again,
you will see that.
Long, that's pretty cool.
I remember like even was it this or was that something else where like Michael Rooker was like a big person in it, or is that someone in Scream, or is it the same type of situation?
He is in a zombie. I know from Call of Duty Black Ops Zombies, there is a map called Call of the Dead, which is a play on kind of Dawn of the Dead, which is like the first zombie movie. It's like the guy, what's the guy who wrote it? He's the guy who's going around in the map with the big hammer thing. He's like the godfather of horror movies. He made the first zombie movies. But like all the characters on that map are like horror legends. So you've got like Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Okay.
And Michael Rooker is there, whoever he plays, and then like two other guys. I can't remember exactly now, but yeah, you can play as Michael Rooker.
Okay.
Because he's like a legend in this kind of thing. And
so can you imagine Michael Rooker and you're like, oh, he's gonna be in it, he's in it for like one episode, and you're like, where'd he go?
But that's the thing too with Michael Rooker, like, and this is whether I don't know about like, like, so we point out in the watch along when Merle said the N-word, it was kind of like, what the fuck? How is that like? Maybe for the time, like I guess like it still wasn't okay at the time to say that in the show or like write that in, but the conversation around why that's a bad thing wasn't as big in whenever this show came out.
Yeah.
Whereas now we would never do that.
You would never
because
have
we
that written in.
Yeah, we talk about it more like, God, no, don't do that. Like, it's even crazier that Rick said it, who's meant to be the hero.
Rick didn't need to say it. Merle didn't need to say it, obviously, but Rick did not need to be saying that. Like, there was no. Yeah. He said it in like a heroic way too. It was like, bro, you didn't need to say it.
You cannot have the main guy, the guy in your show who's meant to be the good guy and you're meant to root for.
He's your leader.
He's meant to be your guy for like the leader, the guy you root for throughout the whole show. Say that shit.
Second episode.
Hard or.
Massive hard or.
Second fucking episode of the series.
And he like hard or he like.
He went for it.
He went for it. He
fucking went
said
for
it like with chest, like it was crazy.
Like it's not like saying like The Sopranos where Tony or someone says it, because they're meant to be bad guys. Rick is meant to be the good guy. He's meant to be a good guy.
Yeah.
Especially in the early seasons. Maybe you can say he becomes a bad guy when.
But it's just I feel like everyone would turn out like that.
Yeah, it's what the world does to you. Like they actually like literally say that in second season. It's what the world changes you. But like Rick at this point is a clown.
He's officer friendly.
He's officer friendly.
He's not supposed to be saying things like that. But I can't remember. Something came into my head.
He's meant to be like a likable guy.
He is.
Who you're meant wanting to root for. That's why maybe why he's a bit silly, a bit stupid at the start, because it's like
you're trying to root for this guy.
You're trying to root for him, yeah, and then he goes and drops N-word on fucking episode 2. Crazy. But I was kind of thinking when that happened, like obviously that was written in to the script.
Yeah. And
then they had kind of Merle. He's a bad guy.
Well, he was even racist towards Morales.
He's racist to fucking Glenn and shit. Like he's a bad fucking guy. When you actually think about it, the character makes sense because he is from like an area like that, and he is from that societal status.
He's like in.
So he probably would be 9 times out of 10 probably would be a raging racist.
But then Daryl's not.
Yeah, well, Daryl, that's the thing. Daryl has a kind of redemption arc, I guess. He comes around to everyone, and the world changes him for the better, whereas it maybe changes everyone else for the worse. But after he like dropped that word,
yeah,
he was actually kind of being kind of funny.
Yeah.
He was kind of like the way he was flirting with Angie in a really sleazy way.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, officer friendly, all this. He's coming out with these like all this shit, and he's kind of this. Ooh, he's got this. He's probably like that's the word. He's charismatic.
Charismatic.
He's you're looking at him, you can't take your eyes off him because he's going to do something.
Yeah.
All eyes on him. So it's kind of easy to forget what he just said. And I don't know whether that's down to writing, which I don't think it is. I genuinely think it's down to Michael Rooker being such a good actor and so talented that he's just saying the words what he needs to say, but he's so talented that he's able to bring a different life to them and make this character what it is. And it's like, unfortunately they say these words, but he's just able to fucking bring it to another level or some shit, you know.
Because like you with that though, it was kind of like, oh, like this is Disney Plus. How is it not edited out? But then how do you edit that out and still make the story make sense? Because then why would he have been handcuffed? Why would him and T-Dog hate each other? Why would have they fought?
They could have edited in another word. I'm trying to think of a word that you could.
They really could have.
You could have maybe, before he went to go say it, then the punch, it cuts to the punch.
Yeah, because I was going to say maybe they didn't film another option at the time.
But I think you could cut it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna cut it in the editing when we're editing this.
Yeah.
I want to prove to them that you can do it. Especially when Disney Plus do edit stuff, as we said in the watch long. But like, yeah, crazy to have the main character, the good guy that you root for, say that shit in episode fucking 2.
Didn't see Shane ever say that word, to be quite honest.
Didn't see Shane say it. Well, like he did. We won't say the word, but he did try to like to Laurie. Well, you know, he did one bad thing. Okay, he did one bad thing. You know, separate the art from the artist, which is all what everyone likes to use an excuse to listen to their fucking shitty favorite artists like Kanye West and stuff. So, the next thing on our list here is Andrea sucks. Andrea sucks.
We don't like Andrea. We've mentioned that up above, but we don't like Andrea.
First thing she does is put a gun to her head for no reason.
Well,
bad start.
Yeah, and then she had the safety on.
Dumbass.
But I think Andrea, our hatred towards her, you will very clearly see it snowballing into something bigger because we really don't like Andrea as a character.
Same with Laurie, but like
I think I have a softer spot for Laurie over you. I still don't really like her, but I have a softer spot for her.
I kind of do, but she just says stupid stuff all the time.
You're finally like, oh, I kind of feel bad for her. And then she comes out with this bullshit and you're just like...
She got kind of pissy with Shane in episode 2 for kind of telling Amy that, oh yeah, we're not going back for them. And she kind of walked off. I was like, God, you weren't saying that when you were slipping off to the forest with him, like,
or when like what was it? They wanted to put up roads, and she was like, "Give me a vehicle," and it's like,
yeah,
Laurie, you were out to the. Remember in the next episode, then she went out to the woods and she was shitting herself because of a bird.
Yeah.
Come on, Laurie, you're not doing shit.
There was something else. Oh yeah, when she was slipping off to the woods with Shane, Dale goes, "Don't drift too far now. Stay within screaming distance." And she goes like, "Okay, Mom."
Yeah,
and it's like. That's you. You're the annoying one,
also,
not him.
You would just ask him to look after your son, Laurie.
Yeah, exactly. Fucking deadbeat mother.
Literally.
That's what she is. People like at least Rick stepped up,
Yeah.
And like Shane isn't the stepfather, but he's the father that stepped up. That's all I'll say.
He is the guy. He is.
God damn. Jeez Louise. So yeah, we literally have written there. Andrea sucks, and Laurie already whinging.
She's already whinging.
I like what they've. It's such a good start. It's
a very good start to a series. Like, if it were to come out now, I would still probably be as hooked, I feel.
But like this season or this show had 11 seasons, 3 spin-offs, 4 spin-offs, 5 spin-offs.
I don't know, because there's even like web series and shit.
And there's like what was it, like 117 episodes of this or something like that?
177.
There's not 177.
There is. Because remember, we calculated ourselves, it was 180 or some shit. And then we Googled it, and it was 177.
This show has 177 episodes?
Of The Walking Dead alone. And then...
Sorry, this is getting Googled.
And then you have Fear the Walking Dead, you have The Ones Who Live, you have Norman Reedus, and 177. A lot of episodes.
October 31st, 2010 to November 20th. That's fucking ludicrous.
Look, the start date is close to your birthday and the end date is close to my birthday.
Day after my birthday.
Kind of crazy.
Came
out on Halloween.
I turned 13 the day before The Walking Dead premiered. I remember they showed the first episode or something on RTE here in Ireland.
And didn't Dad have it?
On our national broadcast. I remember our dad had it on randomly in the kitchen. Remember we had the kitchen up on the like shelf in the kitchen. It was like up high by the ceiling. I remember walking in, and I remember the part it was when Rick and Glenn. I completely forgot his name. were dressed as in the blood and they hopped the fence to get the truck. That's what I watched when I was like 13.
Wait, so how did you then start watching this? How many seasons had come out when you started watching it? Like, how old was I? I was not 9 years old.
The first season we watched along with it was the season I gave up on, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh yeah, because we used to watch it like in the computer in the sitting room.
No, we watched it here. You watched it in the computer in the sitting room. We watched it in my room. It was when I had my computer all over there, and I had that shitty desktop computer. Do you remember that in the corner? Oh, that's so that would have been before I got my L desk then, if I'm not mistaken. So that would have been
it was
like
just that desk. It wasn't L.
I would have been like second year or third year maybe.
So I was in primary school when I started watching that.
I guess so.
I think that's why you had to rewatch the first season with me, because I wouldn't watch it by myself because I was too scared.
So, yeah, damn. But 177 episodes of this. Yep. That's overkill. When you look at The Sopranos, which is considered the best television show of all time, I think there's like 88 episodes or something like that. Yeah, that's an insane amount of television.
And they could have stopped it at that many episodes. They really could
have. I genuinely think they had a good thing going early on with what we were watching, and they shouldn't have fucking stretched it out as long as they have. It obviously makes a lot of money, and the actors in it make a lot of money, and everyone's happy making a lot of money.
And then there's obviously people watching it that is on. There is people there, so
because if the numbers drop, they dump it. But yeah, it's something that big is. Quite impressive, really, how big this show is, but like how anyone I've ever met that's watched it gave up on it.
Yeah, I've never talked to anyone who's watched it from season 1 and have like watched it till.
Yeah, or I've never ever met someone who says, "Yeah, I am watching The Walking Dead now," or "I watch it," or "I watched all of it." I've never met someone. It must be an American thing.
I feel like that is where it's big, is in America.
Yeah.
Because that's where like all even their big events and all, they're all in America. I know they're American. Well, not all of them are, but like it's primarily American production, shall we say. AMC. Do you remember like back in the day it was like previously on AMC's? Yeah. They don't do that anymore.
And we were able to watch it like that because we used to watch it on
Project Free TV.
No.
Putlocker.
No. Let me watch this.
I used to. That's like that? When you stopped watching.
That's if anyone's watching this, no, actually, we watched it legitimately on a friend's telly.
Yeah.
Yeah, we used to have to watch like a recording of like the TV broadcast of it with
the
advertising out and like
wobbly camera.
Yeah, holy shit.
Yeah.
Previously on AMC's The Walking Dead.
And there was even like a next time at the end sometimes.
Yeah.
You'd be like, oh, get you hooked.
It's like, oh my god, I can't wait to see what happens when Laurie flips the fucking car over. But yeah, that's the first 2 episodes down the can.
It is.
Done. We'll close it off on this, guys.
Yeah.
Rick Grimes, I'm going to be fucking watching out for this. You better tell Carl Grimes and Laurie Grimes about Wayne. Because you said you would.
Yeah.
Motherfucker.
Even passed around his ID. It's kind of weird. No one else cared.
And you were and you were doing not you were trying to go band for you were trying to pocket watch on him, counting up the money he had in the pocket. Oh, he had $28 on him.
Or he has a picture of a beautiful young girl.
Yeah.
It's like, come on,
scouting
Rick.
out for his Rick is a whore. Honestly.
Talk about Laurie moving on. This guy's looking at other people's pictures.
This guy's looking at fucking Polaroid pictures and wallets. Jesus Christ, this guy knows no bounds. And him and Andrea looking at the jewelry there. He was all like,
oh yeah.
And
Andrea and Rick were supposed to end up together.
In the I wasn't going to say that.
Yeah, I just when you mentioned them and that, and I was like, oh.
Which is crazy. Maybe. Also, Andrea and Dale were meant to end up together in the comics, which is fucking disgusting, but fucking hell, like.
Oh my god.
Dirty bastard, huh?
I hate
Jesus
that. When you told me about that, I really want to cry.
I treat him when we're watching the show like he actually, like that was in the show, but it's not. But, guys, have you also noticed, firstly, Rick, tell your family about Wayne.
Yes.
Secondly, it amuses me so much. Rick is like mewing all the time or something. He's all like,
with the camera. Like, when Glenn was all with the zombies,
Yeah.
Rick was there. Like, man was like, fucking, my God. Crazy.
So yeah. Rick Grimes. Tesco Grimes. This is how, if you don't know, this is how Andrew Lincoln poses for pictures with everyone ever. Look it up. It's all over TikTok. Let me tell you something. Episode 1. Finally did it. Finally got around to doing it. See y'all next time.
Bye.
Cuss, 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 cuss. I fucking love Rick Grimes and Shane Walsh. Oh my god.